This week on No Cell Service, our hosts cover the supernatural horror, Vicious. This content is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, but welcome back to another episode of the podcast.
We're testing video.
We're joined today by our friend Dakota Fanning, who it was so weird to see as a fully grown adult just chain smoking for like half the movie.
Dude, the chain smoking too for me was like, girl, you're not even smoking all of it. You're leaving like half the cigarette when you put it out.
What a fucking waste.
God.
But you keep smoking. Just finish the first one. You may be able to go a little longer without.
Yeah, you pop that cherry out, and relight it. God, it's like you've never smoked before.
So funny.
This was recommended by your mama.
Yeah, my mom came to me and was like, dude, you want a crazy movie? I'll give you a crazy movie. And yeah, it's pretty like off the bat, just you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so when I was doing my research for this movie, I couldn't find jack shit on the making of it besides one interview with the director. The director is the same guy who did The Strangers, if you didn't know that.
I did not.
It makes sense. While like having that in my head while watching it. It was like, yeah, you have a thing with like people knocking at your door and you being terrified. Got it. I don't know what to expect because like Reddit was really 50-50. Like everyone either hated it or thought it was amazing. There was like no middle ground.
I feel like that's the case with a lot of movies that we do though. I think for some reason the horror genre has just always been very divisive.
That's fair.
I don't know why. People either love a movie or they're like, it wasn't scary, it sucked, it was so cheesy and dumb. It's like, where's the middle ground here?
That's pretty much where I am because I do see some of their points of... No, actually, I don't. Never mind. I lied. I understand exactly where Polly, Dakota Fanning's character, is coming from. She's 32, trying to go back to school, doesn't know what the hell's going on with her life, can't afford the house she lives in, has to rent it from her sister. She's middle life crisising. Like,
yeah.
It's fine. Everyone was like, I don't feel for her at all. I don't understand what was happening. I was like, what do you mean? She's just like, she doesn't know what to do with her life.
Probably just a bunch of fucking 20-year-olds who don't understand
being 30.
That like, just because you're in college now does not mean you know where you're going to be 10 years from now. Like,
yeah,
that's not how it works, man.
I do want to say right off the bat that the cinematography did very well at giving you that anxious feeling. There was a few shots where I'm like, why do we keep coming back to this? Like the fire, they show the fire a lot, and I thought it was going to place into the movie. It did not.
Yeah.
Except that it burns the entire movie, and it shouldn't, because that's not how fireworks work.
I do think this is one of the few instances in American horror cinema where we get some of those longer, lingering shots. Some shots are obviously like quick cut, you know, to kind of startle you and like just like flash something at you. But then there are those moments where you're just left there hanging for a minute, just being like, okay.
Yeah, and
I want it to be the next part because it's just, this sucks.
With the silence too, because there are the two scenes where like Dakota Fanning is talking to, what's her name? She plays the older lady in this.
I can never remember
Hunter.
her name. She was in Harry Potter.
Yeah, Kathryn Hunter. She...
Don't put away your wand, Harry.
She is apparently like a stage like actor, not a movie actor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she does a lot of stage plays, which I thought was interesting.
That's cool.
But when they were talking, and then the chick who plays Tara, who we see later on, when they're talking, Dakota Fanning and her are talking. While they're talking, there is like no music, and you have to sit in the awkwardness of having a stranger in your house being weird.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty fucking wild, honestly. I guess we'll just get into it, yeah?
Yeah, did you like it?
I did. I like when I don't know what's going on for most of the movie, because then it makes me feel... It just, specifically for a horror movie, that adds to the dread, because if you don't know what's like, again, the unknown is scarier than anything known in your head. So I like movies that keep up the mystery.
Yeah, a lot of people hated that, and that's why they hated this movie. They're like, the box isn't explained, nothing's explained, none of this makes sense. And the interview...
Have you ever watched Chernobyl Diaries, bro. Nothing is explained in that movie except for the fact that they're in a place where a nuclear disaster happened and there's still radiation.
Go listen to our episode on that.
That's all you fucking know. So it's like, what the I don't know.
Yeah. No, everyone was like, they needed to expand on the box more. It didn't make any sense. The rules don't align or whatever when they totally do. And then in the interview with Bryan Bertino, is that how you say his name?
Is that the director?
Yeah. He states that he made this movie based off of his like anxiety and panic attacks. Like it's like a symbolic movie for how like a panic attack or anxiety feels. Someone on Reddit said it felt like generational trauma. Just especially because we start with an older woman, then going to Dakota Fanning, then going to Tara.
Yeah, I can seriously see like the generational trauma thing. It's not like directly touched on, but it's very heavily implied. This girl's in her 30s and she did not have the best time growing up, and that's not necessarily her fault.
Yeah, there's some subtleties and my mic is getting knocked around about some of the things that are hinted about on certain stuff.
Yeah.
But that's like I said, I had nothing to go off of. I could not find shit for behind the scenes for this. So
that's fine. It's just one of those movies.
And there's nothing on IMDb about any weird trivia or anything. There's barely anything on Wikipedia about it. The most I got from this is that the release for it got pushed. It was supposed to come out in like August, and then it got pushed till it was supposed to have a theatrical release, but it kept getting pushed, so it just came out on Paramount Plus.
I wonder if some of that behind the scenes stuff, all that extra stuff, I wonder if some of that's dependent on the director themselves or like the producer, whoever's like making the movie, because I could totally picture a director being like, I want to make a movie, and they're like, okay, let's do it, and then they do it and they're like, all right, time to promote, let's do all this, let's get it out, and he's just like, hey, let's just put it out somewhere and let people watch it. I don't care.
Oh, for the releasing, I think it got so it had a release at Fantastic Fest, and then it was supposed to have like a release, so I don't know why it got pushed. Maybe it was like it didn't do well. I don't know.
Yeah, it almost makes me think that during the period where they have all the, I don't want to say beta testers because that's not what they are, but like the
early access, like I don't know what to call it, beta
testers. Early viewers that like get to see the movie first and get to be the ones to talk about it and help promote it in a way, and maybe they did that and they just didn't have good reception, and so they were like, fuck, we gotta figure something out.
Well, that would be my only guess. Not that it was a bad movie, but again, it was very polarizing from what I could see. Even the what is it called? Like the critic reviews put it on like the lower half of, it's 56 out of 100. It's 43% out of whatever on Rotten Tomatoes, a 5.4 out of 10. Like it's average to a point where it's that polarizing because it's just on the fence so much.
Yeah, interesting. Well, we'll let you guys decide whether you go watch it yourselves or just decide after listening to our synopsis if it's
better than Rubber.
Yeah, for sure.
So we open with a blank screen and a voiceover, who's Dakota Fanning, saying, I don't want to be me. I'm tired of feeling like this. None of it matters. And just kind of going off on this depression spiral of, I hate myself. It then cuts into Polly, bathed in this red light, who is continuing to talk about how, she slams herself into a wall and tries to do all these things, but nothing changes. It doesn't get better. It's all the same. I'm still here. Nothing changes. There's a voice that sounds like her, but her mouth doesn't move, asking, what do you want? And she says, for it to stop. I was listening to this on my laptop, so this is a cold open to a scene we'll see later. Mm-hmm. The voice that asks, what do you want, isn't hers, but they sounded very similar in this moment.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that out there. We then start with the credits of an up-down upside down shot of a living room that completely rotates to be normal, and then like a sideways mirror shot that again rotates, and then a front door that does the same thing. The title screen pops up, which is a black screen with white text that just says vicious.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna state this, I don't remember movies having title screens until we started doing this podcast. I didn't realize how prevalent they were.
Honestly, because when you think of sitting down at a movie, like in a movie theater, it just like starts after all the grandeur of the theaters being like, put your phones away and buy our premium access, you know?
That's weird. I pay attention to title screens now, and I never did before. And this one is lackluster.
They're also usually pretty like in horror movies. I feel like they're pretty quick.
Yeah,
because they
doesn't linger a lot.
Yeah, they're not trying to like sell it to you. They know what you're there for, so usually it flashes on the screen for like 2 seconds. You know.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I feel like you could have done something better than white text on a black background for this. But I mean, it's just a title screen. It doesn't matter. I'm just being nitpicky on that.
I'll just always think of the basic ass font from The Shining in that blue ass text.
The font was better than The Shining, that's for sure. Say that at least. Goodness.
Yeah, this is funny.
It then cuts to a top-down shot with a bell tolling as Polly gets home. She kicks off her shoes. She's got groceries. She walks into this house that I don't really understand the layout of. We see like two to three rooms in this entire house. Her kitchen is behind what looks like a bar. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
She is listening to her voicemails on a smartphone, and I only point that out because I don't know what time period this is supposed to be in with all of the landlines and then CRT TVs, and I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
She has a smartphone.
I didn't even think about that. The fact that she's got like a newer iPhone, but then there's a CRT and also like the old ass fucking
landlines.
Landlines.
It doesn't make sense. With the shot with the CRTV that we'll talk about later, it has a flat screen TV on top of it. So it feels like it's more like aesthetically there. But it was plugged in, so I don't know why. Whatever. I just don't understand the time it's supposed to be in, which is neither here nor there.
That's so funny.
There is a voicemail from a pottery class that she takes that like it's a subscription thing, and she hasn't been there in a while. She still has 6 classes. There is a voicemail from Lainey, her sister, who's telling her to make sure she gets a cake on Thursday. There's one from her boss telling her she has to work a double. There's one from her mom talking about she needs to remember these forms. And all the while she's putting groceries away, and her sink is continuously dripping into this cup. And it's just very obnoxious. Kind of just leans into the fact that everything is just slightly awry in her life.
Yeah.
She rinses out a wine glass, pours herself a glass, and then doom scrolls on Instagram on the couch. And she's doom scrolling either her feed or her sister's feed. I'm not sure which, because the girl that pops up on screen is her niece.
Yeah.
Polly then sets up her dining room table and practices for an interview to go back to school. And so she's playing the interviewee and the interviewer and is just getting fed up with herself because she's like, who the fuck says that? I shouldn't say that. That's not what I should say.
Stupid people say that. I'm stupid. Why would I say?
Stupid people say they're smart. Smart people don't say that.
Yeah.
Just all of this stuff. As she's doing that, she then goes over and like warms up by the fire. This is a Christmas movie, BT dubs.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even mention of the Christmas holiday. It's just snowing and there are Christmas trees up in pretty much every house.
The only reason that matters is because a bunch of people are away for the winter, like for Christmas holiday, for break.
Yeah.
That's the only reason this matters.
Also, a lot of the lighting is red because of like...
the fireplaces and lights and...
very warm tones.
Yeah. And I point this out because her doorbell rings, and then there's a knock, and there's an older woman who's got like a beanie on, and it's snowing outside, and she seems very confused, talking about she used to know who lived here. Her son gave her a card for a number she can call if she's ever in trouble. She kind of feels like an older lady who has no idea what's going on. So Polly, feeling bad for her, invites her inside because she's like shiver shaking, and I don't know if it's because of the cold or because like the old people shake. Either way, she gets her inside, gets her a glass of water. The woman is called the woman. She doesn't actually have a name. This is Kathryn Hunter. She's looking around the house. She's looking at these photos on the wall and checking out her surroundings. I wouldn't say exactly scoping out the place because she doesn't look malicious, but definitely absorbing all of the information she's seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole time she's just acting very like confused,
sketched out.
Yeah, immediately you're like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I say this later with a scene from Polly where I'm like, she's either a murderer or a murder victim, and you can't tell at the moment, and that's exactly what this feels like too, where something is happening and you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
She sits down and we notice her ring finger and pinky on her left hand are missing, and she has like fresh bandages wrapped around it. She's also holding like a weird suitcase thing. Polly sits down across from her, and the woman again mentions the number her son gave her, and she needs to call if she's ever in trouble. She then asks Polly if she's married, if she has a baby, if she has kids, all this kind of stuff. And this is the awkwardness we were talking about earlier. There's no music, and it's just this old woman that you don't know asking you personal questions for no known reason. She goes on then about about this house and how she knew the person who lives here and how it's a lot for one person, and how does she handle it? And she says she's very lucky. She rents it from her sister. Talks about her niece, Allie, who's turning 6 next week and stuff like that. And the woman looks over, just kind of takes a deep breath and says,
I'm going to start now.
And you're just like, what does that mean?
Yeah. What the fuck?
And she pulls out a wooden box from this suitcase, sets it on the coffee table. As she opens it, she's explaining it's for Polly now. She pulls out an hourglass and sets it down.
She's like, this is yours now.
It's the hourglass is like mostly finished too. It's going down quite steadily. Polly tries to like be kind about, maybe we should wait outside, and just gently trying to get this woman out of her house. The woman then says, "You're going to die tonight. I'm sorry." Which, okay, murderer. This is the murderer. Got it. Not victim, murderer. Polly sits back down as the woman keeps explaining that she will die unless she does things. Polly says she's going to call the police, but the woman says, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't tell anyone. Which, this is like right around the "you're gonna die tonight" music kicks back in, and we start getting very tension building sounds.
Yeah. It very quickly just becomes uncomfortable, and you're like, and Polly at this point is kind of like, all right, this is not how normal people act. You need to get the fuck out of my house.
You've got 3 minutes before I call the cops. Get out.
Yeah.
As she like puts her hat on and gets outside, she turns around and calls her Polly. Polly has not told her her name at all. And she says, I thought it was a nightmare, but I didn't wake up, and neither will you. Polly then looks right. What do you do in this situation?
If there's ever an appropriate time for me to drop kick a grandma, I think it would be now. Because one, if she came into my house with some sort of ancient looking box and an hourglass, I'd be like, you just bring a fucking curse into my house, dude? What did you just unleash Pandora? Like, what did you open in my house that you let out? Now you're saying I'm gonna die?
Yeah.
You might die from getting my feet to your neck.
Which might have been better.
Honestly. Yeah.
As Polly locks herself inside, the woman just says sorry again. She calls her mom, and she's looking out the window, and in the middle of the street, the box is there. It has been left in the middle of the street. She does a terrible job of explaining what happened to her mom, which, fair. How the hell do you explain, hey, I was trying to be nice to this old lady, and then she cursed me, Beauty and the Beast style, except I'm not a beast, and I don't know what's going on.
But also, her mom just is like weird. This conversation. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, no, it's
but
okay.
Is it?
Well, yeah, that's why I was like, I think I need to stop because it's not going to be long before forget what I just said.
I have questions about this. So she does a terrible job of explaining things to her mom. Her mom berates her about letting a random person in her home. She walks outside to look at the box. She kicks the box a little bit, still trying to explain these things to her mom. And her mom's like, it's probably some weird cult thing. And she's like, that's really not helping, Mom. What the fuck? Her mom then continues to berate her now about what she needs to wear to the interview and how she's proud of her, but she just needs to focus. I could not imagine going back to school in my 30s. Like, good on my wife for going back to school, but I could not.
Oh, your wife's killing it. I've said this on other episodes. There is no timeline for life. Nobody achieves anything at the same pace as anybody else. So 50-year-olds can go to college if they want and start working the career they've wanted their whole lives at 60. But like, doesn't make the societal pressure of like, oh, by this age you're supposed to be done with college and you're going to be interning for your potential rest of your life career and all that. Like, there's so many things that tell you you're supposed to be at these certain points at these times. That's not the fucking case. You can take life at your own pace.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. Good on you if you go back to school now. I could not.
I couldn't. Yeah. I purely because I could not deal with other people in that manner.
I'm thinking about waking up at, I wake up early for work now, but being up and then being in a classroom and then trying to retain information and I don't know how my wife's doing it. She's doing great. Yeah, good on anybody.
Wasn't good at it when I was a teenager. I don't think I'd be much better at it now.
No, there's just so much happening. Life is continuously going.
Yeah.
This is where I put a note in about the cinematography being really good at building tension. Some of these shots and the angles that they film the shots at combined with the music, it's just off-putting enough that you're building a steady increase of tension. It's not slamming on the gas. It's just a slight... You're getting somewhere.
Like the whole time she's on the phone, she'll like go outside and like look around a little bit, and then we'll get like a far shot in the street to where you can kind of see her on the porch and then also see the box. They're just hinting that like, no, the box is still there, bro. Whether you
interact or not, it's still existing.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
There's a shot of her showering, and I don't know why. It's not relevant. After her shower, she does like a montage of trying on different outfits and taking pictures, and then we get an obligatory kind of boob scene as she changes her shirts, as much so as Scream had, pretty much.
Yeah, as I get older, it's like weird for me to see someone I saw as a child actor be an adult and then like be in a scene like that. I'm like, I shouldn't be looking at this. But then I'm like, wait, you're an adult. But it's still fucking weird.
This just, for me, it makes me think of my parents went to a burlesque show, like at the Orpheum, and one of the waitresses recognized them as my brother's parents, and they were like, I don't think we can be here anymore. You're the same age as our son.
Yeah.
And granted, my brother was out of high school. It was like, she was like 20-something. Obviously, she's working a burlesque show, but they were like... And that's kind of how it feels like with child actors becoming like adults who can have body autonomy and do whatever they want. It's just like, ooh, this is weird.
Yeah, it's fine for them. Like, be an adult. You're allowed to do what you want with your body. I think the weird thing for me is like, you'll see it a lot on the internet where people will put side by sides of like them as a kid versus them as an adult. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you comparing? Are you trying to... I don't fucking know. It's 2026. Too much has gotten out there to where, like, as I'm trying to have a daughter, I cannot help but just be so terrified of the entire world. So, anyways.
She's scrolling through her photos, and we get this side shot of her being on the right side and then seeing the room the rest of the way, and there's this mirror, and you just watch this movement happen in the mirror. This woman standing behind her, looking beat the fuck up like a corpse that just walked out of the ground, whispers, Polly. But when she turns around, it's gone.
This actually jump scared me. I actually felt like the heart kind of thing. It was fucking too early for that shit. I was like, my Well, my headphones have like a bass slider, so I can increase the bass.
Yep.
And I had it up really high when I was playing Galactic Contention yesterday. And I forgot about that. And so when she's like, Polly, it was like, I was like, oh my God.
I was going to ask you, since you do watch like all of these movies with headphones, the phones, when they ring, are so loud and ridiculous, even without. Was that bad for you?
No, the phones weren't terrible. Honestly, like, the audio did fuck me up at points. Not necessarily because it was too loud, but like, some of it was just really fucking creepy. And then there was a distinct cutoff of audio in the middle of this long scene where music is playing this whole time. All of a sudden, there's this like something happens and then the music's just gone. But the tension's there, but there's nothing leading you to think that something bad is going to happen. So you're like, why the fuck did the music stop? And I just remember sitting there lingering like, I'm so uncomfortable right now. Why did they turn off the music? This is not even the normal lead up to anything. So what the fuck are they leading up? Like, it's just
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. She runs downstairs to grab a cigarette, which, girl, don't smoke in your house. It's not even your house. You're renting from your sister. And you're going to, do you know how terrible it is? How hard it is to get smoke out of a house?
yeah, it's almost impossible.
The phone vibrates and it's super loud. Like, this is it's like the sound guy held the vibrating phone up to a mic. It drove me a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. It's her mom. Again, I don't know why I said it that way. There's no other mom so far. It's Polly's mom. Polly explains to her mom about what happened behind her and how she thought it was her mom talking to her. Like how she heard her mom's voice say Polly that thing. Her mom is just like, have you eaten? You were really skinny the last time I saw you, which is just such a mom thing to do. She goes upstairs, still on the phone with her mom, being like, hello, like calling out, and her mom's like, check the closet, maybe I'm in there.
It's funny for me to think of like Dakota Fanning always being super skinny, but her mom still being like, you were so skinny the last time I saw you. It's like, bitch, I'm always, like, me personally, I'm always skinny. So if anyone said that to me, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
My family says that every time I see them. They're like, you're so skinny, you need to eat more. And I'm like, okay.
You look the same as you do in that childhood picture we have of you in the Darth Vader mask.
Hey, her mom continues talking to her, saying, you know, how proud she is for her big day, and now we're on cigarette number 3. Again, she puts them out halfway. There's so much cigarette left on these, and cigarettes are fucking expensive. That is where my thought is going with these. Her mom tells her about her first day at school, like her very first day at school, and how her dad took her there in this whole cute moment, and Polly's not paying attention. And she's like, I'm just so tired. She's like, why? I'm talking to you. You're not the whole mom conversation, right?
I'm sorry. I just have to say this. Whenever I saw Polly smoking a cigarette, I couldn't help but picture Cat in the Hat version of Dakota Fanning.
Oh.
When she's like 6
yeah.
or 7 and just like super sassy. That version of her would definitely also smoke cigarettes if she had been allowed. If the Cat in the Hat gave her a pack, she would have fucking flipped the lucky and fucking, you know what I mean?
There was a whole thing that she was like, don't smoke, don't do drugs. No, that was what her mom was, because she asks,
yes.
She's like, Mom, do I get any rules? And she's like, no smoking.
Exactly. So it's like, dude, I
guess that's fair.
Swear to God.
I love Cat in the Hat. Her mom tells her about the whole first day thing. Polly sits down on the couch, and when she leans back up, the box is on the coffee table. And she's like, Mom, you don't believe me. And her mom's like, I always believe you, sweetheart. And she opens the box, and her mom asks what she sees. She pulls out the hourglass, shakes it a few times, but the sand isn't falling. She explains to her mom. She tells that to her mom, who says, you haven't started yet. Oh, it's not her mom. Her mom, the voice starts laughing and then tells her, you're going to die. Her fake mom starts singing. And that's what I'm going to call her throughout the rest of the movie, as I say fake mom. Because this is not the end of fake mom. The other mother, maybe. Mm-hmm. She hangs the phone up, the doorbell. What? The doorbell starts chiming repeatedly, and then someone is banging on her back door. Her phone goes off. Fake mom says, "We know everything about you. You are going to die unless. Look at the box. Go see what we gave you." The unless thing gets me.
Because she says it like 7 times in a row, and you're just like, please move on. I'm so uncomfortable. The audio is very good in this movie. It's like, as someone who gets affected by that shit pretty easily, I was very uncomfortable.
This, like I said, this movie does like a really good job of giving me anxiety. Oh man, I forgot to take my anxiety medication today.
Shite.
But it does a very good job of giving you that anxiety dread of something is going to happen and you don't know what.
And again, the unknown. You don't know anything about what's going on, about the box, how it works really, if anything is even telling the truth. Why are you mad at that? Because when you're watching the movie, that's what adds to the anxiety. Mm-hmm. To the whole, like...
You have no idea what's going on.
That's what a fucking horror movie's supposed to do, is it's supposed to scare you. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to put you in this alerted state.
It's also one of those things where... How are we supposed to know anything? The characters don't fucking know anything.
Yeah.
Or do you want a Google montage again?
If the universe is going to feed the character everything, then you're just going to get pissed about everything being spoon-fed to you. Mm-hmm. People just aren't happy.
No, that's literally what it is. No one's happy anymore.
Yeah.
So 3 things go inside. Something you hate, something you need, something you love. Time is watching you.
What would you put in?
So, I was thinking about this, and I'm not entirely sure. I get stuck on the, like, something you hate. Because there's lots of things I hate, but, like, do I hate them enough? You know? Because what we learn here is that, what does it say? We and I will know if you're lying. And that's hard for me, because, like, I don't even know if I'm lying.
What if in your heart, the one thing you truly hate is a concept or an idea?
See, in my head, I was thinking about toast.
What do you mean?
My biggest pet peeve in the fucking world is toast crumbs. You know your toast is gonna be crummy. You know it's gonna fucking get everywhere. And you just leave it? You just don't get a plate for your fucking toast, and so now there are crumbs on the counter and I'm stepping on crumbs on the feet. Like, okay, I hate toast crumbs.
I know what I know exactly what I would, based off of that logic, I know exactly what I would put in the box. I would put in a knife with a really solid slab of butter and a slice of bread with a giant hole in the middle of it.
That you can't spread your butter?
I'm not kidding you, dude. For the longest time, Tay and I called, like, when I got really mad or if something pissed me off enough, it was called tearing a hole in my bread. Because, no joke, if I go to make like a grilled cheese where the bread is not supposed to be toasted before the butter goes on, and the butter's too cold, and you just end up like tearing through the bread, not only did I just waste a slice of bread, but now I know that, like, I don't, like, I'm just going to have to do something different in order to make this happen. And I don't, like, I'm just pissed off now. So I'm just not going to make a fucking grilled cheese. I'm just fucking done because this was just a fuck, like, God damn it, dude. I just wasted this bread and I was,
Fair enough.
It's so dumb. It's
so dumb, but so is mine. So
there is nothing, like, I've in the past thrown a slice of fucked up bread against the wall as hard as I could just because I was so mad at it. Dang. It's been a long time.
What would you do for something you need? That one's the easiest for me. Mine's caffeine. Like, I would put a cup of coffee in there.
See, I've been through so much shit in my life, and I've been so minimalist that, like, I don't necessarily feel like there's anything I truly need.
And that's how I feel about the hate thing. Like,
but my problem, I think, technically, if we're going to get technical about it, I am a fucking different person when I have zero sleep.
You gonna put like a pillow in there?
But how do I put sleep in a box?
I don't know. That's like
I've said before that if I could function the rest of my life without eating food, I would. You put food in the box, and then I guess I'll starve to death. Like I don't know what I would put in the need. My only other thing is like
nicotine,
but like I'm trying to quit that.
Would you do weed?
And I know that. See, that's the thing is like.
I'm just trying to think of something like that.
At the end of the day, I could technically function without weed. I just use it for a lot of like the pain and some of like the metabolism stuff that I still deal with.
Your SSD of all your games.
Fuck. I guess it would be just put my Steam account in there.
Yeah, your whole Steam account.
I think the last time I checked, my Steam account was worth almost $10,000.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, to be fair, that's
years of...
It's years of getting video games. It's also years of specifically buying video games on sale.
Yeah.
And getting bundles and getting like, complete editions for way less of a price with the DLC. So like there's...
Yeah. You were smart about it.
Yeah. This is also a hobby that I've had since I was 6.
Yeah, it's not like you just dropped $10,000 last year to get all of those games.
Yeah.
But besides the point, obviously, I think our wives would go in the love category. I was also thinking our pets, and I'm like, damn, like, if she had a cat, would they make her, like... I'm getting ahead of myself, but anyways.
Like, what if someone just had a baby? I'm not even going to go there, because that just... No.
Well, you didn't see the looks, but...
No, they did see the look. Well, they might.
You might see the looks. We're testing out video today.
You're either seeing the looks and being like, cool, or we're just talking nonsense right now.
Well, our videos are going to go on Stacked for paid service.
Oh, yeah.
So, at least one of you might see video.
Yeah.
We have one subscriber right now.
You can see all the weird looks that we do and, like, something happens in a movie and we're just like...
We are very animated people. So, she's on her iPhone, and the phone call ends, and it does the beep, 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 beep of a landline when a call ends. What is happening?
Yeah, a bit of an oversight.
She starts smoking again, kneels in front of the coffee table with the box, and, like, feeling it up. It's a weird scene. I don't know. And saying, something you need. And she takes, like, 3 drags back to back to back of her cigarette, and the amount of head rush you would get with how fast she is smoking that.
I mean, I've been there.
Same, but then she puts it out again, 3/4 of the way done. And
very, very anime character of her.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, have a long-ass cigarette, maybe 1/4 burnt. And it's, like, all cracked and, like, fucking bent to shit, and then they just, like... Psh, you're like, dude, shows what a fucking fiend I am, that when I see that, I'm like, what a waste.
my thing is just, it's so expensive. Smoking is such an expensive addiction.
Oh, dude, yeah. You can't afford to waste that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She picks up the cigarette box, and drops it into the wooden box, saying something you hate, and closes the lid. And girl, you have smoked so much. Oh, man. I'm saying girl so much in this one. You have smoked so much.
Gotta get your brother fucked up.
Yeah. He said my guy. I wonder if it's going to be my guy / girl.
Oh, that's so funny.
My brother is doing podcast bingo is actually what he's decided to do now, instead of take a drink every time we say XYZ, which is probably better for him in the long run.
Yeah, for your health, my man, you gotta...
If he finishes making it, we'll post it in the Discord. You guys can play along as we go. The thing is, she has smoked so much in this movie that I thought she would put it in there with something I need. Like, that's what she said. And then she says, I hate. And, like, I know that's wrong.
You can't try to, like, morally trick whatever's going on right now.
Which she learns very quickly.
Yeah. But
the hourglass doesn't start. She opens the box and the cigarettes are still there. And then the timer starts. It's the we and I, this thing calls it, we and I know the truth. That every time they talk about themselves, it's we and I.
It's like we are everyone and we are no one kind of thing. Like,
like we are Legion type dealios.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. It's weird. It's giving like God of Death vibes, kind of. I don't know. Maybe that's because I'm watching Game of Thrones again. The faceless gods, whatever. You haven't watched Game of Thrones. So.
I haven't. No interest in Game of Thrones. She starts choking and wheezing, like hacking, like she like falls to the floor and is slobbering everywhere, trying to hack up something.
This is a drawn out thing too. It's not quick. In like half of the horror movies or something like this would happen, she'd be like, and then it would be out. She's like choking and writhing on the ground for like a minute and a half, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but when you're watching this, you're just like, oh my God, can you breathe? Is she okay? What the fuck is
the movie over now? Is she just gonna die?
Is this a cold open? What the fuck is happening?
So she ends up hacking out this old school metal like iron key and then like falls on the ground. Obviously she couldn't breathe, and then just like smacks the key away. Which, fair. She ends up getting up and going over to her neighbor's house because her phone isn't working, which feels like a cop-out, which is why I think they made it feel more like a dial or a landline.
No cell service.
Oh, look at that! You guys were wondering why that's what our podcast is called.
It's because this trope exists constantly.
All the time.
And it was also not
taken already. What was the other one? We had another name for the podcast, and it was taken already. Can't remember what it was.
I was about to say some dumbass shit. I don't actually remember.
Her neighbor answers the door, like she's banging on the door. Her neighbor answers, and she's on the phone with her husband, saying he's like flying in right now. Give me a second. She keeps asking to use her phone, and the neighbor invites her in. She sits her down, gives her like a cup of tea while she's still talking on the phone, going 50-50 between talking to her husband about whatever needs to be done, and yeah, this weird woman's here. back and forth. And then while they're in the kitchen, she says, oh, hold on, someone keeps trying to call, and she switches over because Polly is like, can we call the cops, please? Switches over, and she's like, oh, I see. It's the cops. It's the police. She's like, makes eye contact with Polly, and Polly's like, what? It stands up. This caught me completely off guard, by the way.
Me too.
She says something about you can never be too careful. And
she says like the typical see something, say something.
That's right.
And she grabs a knife and then walks over to the counter across from Polly, slams it down on the counter face up, and then just thrusts her face down into the knife.
Into her eyeball.
Into her cheek.
Was it her cheek? I thought it was her eye.
Yeah. She gets her cheek, and then she sits up and like smiles, and Polly is horrified, obviously, as one would be. But I was horrified. I was not expecting this at all.
Takes the knife again and like slams it.
She like slams her head down, but slams her throat into the knife. This movie's fucking brutal, honestly.
It's called Vicious for a reason.
Yeah.
Polly runs over to her trying to get her to stop doing all of these things. And they tussle, fall in front of the fridge, and she grabs the knife, and she's like laughing or just saying something weird, and then like shanks the side of her neck. And Polly pulls down her shirt a little bit because she's like wearing a V-neck, and it says, "Don't you dare."
Don't you dare,
Sorry.
yes.
And then she says, "No one else can ever help you."
Yes, yeah.
No one ever could.
But this is like carved into her chest.
It's bleeding.
Yeah.
Fresh wound carved.
Don't you dare, which is like, okay, so that's what happens if you try to reach out. Well, at that moment in time, the amount of dread that would wash over my body, insurmountable.
The thing is she was warned not to tell anybody, and her phone stopped working, so she couldn't call anybody, and I don't know, I feel like the universe, or I guess in this case, this entity was like, I put all of these roadblocks in your way, and you still stepped out of the bounds. This is what you get. Not saying she deserved this, but there was a lot of roadblocks to talking to people.
No, I understand.
At this point, I'm just thinking she has touched way too much stuff in this woman's house. They were going to think she killed this woman.
Yeah.
She gets back home, is washing the blood off of her hands in the sink. She lights another cigarette. Her phone still isn't working. The timer is going, so she shoves the timer and the box off the coffee table. She grabs her keys to leave, but then the timer and the box are back on the table. still ticking away, looking like they had never fallen off in the first place. A photo falls off the wall of her, her sister, her niece, and her sister's husband, and she was in the middle, and now it's like a wispy little ghost getting dragged out of the center. It's a weird looking photo.
Mm-hmm.
Her phone starts ringing with Dad on the screen, and this song continues to play throughout the movie, and it drives me a little bonkers. It was playing when she was doing her changing montage. It's happening now. I don't know what song this is. I meant to look it up.
It's from like the 60s, 70s, maybe.
It's an
early
older
70s.
song.
It's an old song, but you'd recognize it if you heard it.
I couldn't even tell you any lyrics right now, though.
But yeah, that's the thing I don't remember the fucking lyrics either. I'm trying, but.
She sits down to answer it and is freaked the fuck out, saying, "You're dead." So, like, that Dad's voice is on the other end saying, "Hey, baby doll," because her mom and him call her baby doll, and going through this whole thing. And she's like, "You're not him." She says that she put them in the box, but the thing comes back with something you hate, not something you're supposed to. You can't lie.
Again, you can't, in your head, you can't be like, well, I hate this because I know it's killing me and I know I need to stop, but it's not how that works.
No, like more, like you were
There
saying,
has to
morally.
there has to be something that you think of and it actually makes you want to physically destroy something. Like that kind of hate.
Which she ends up finding. The voice says, "You don't want the sand to run out. You know the answer. What do you hate? What do you lose the day I died?" Again, all in her dad's voice. She takes the metal key to her closet, and there's like this chest or something that she opens. And goddamn, is this movie so dark in certain scenes. It's really hard to make out things. The door slowly shuts behind her, and to a point where it's like so slow, she doesn't hear it click close. We see a bunch of pictures of her dad and then see him in a hospital bed with a shaved head, and you're assuming he died of cancer. In the picture, he's wearing this cross necklace that she also pulls out of the chest, and the lights start to flicker as she wraps her hand around it. She goes to the closet door, but it's locked. The lights flicker more, and a decrepit hand reaches out and touches her. And she spins around, and it's like a walk-in closet. She's searching around. There's nothing. Until her decomposing father in a hospital gown comes out of nowhere, screaming like that
just
breathy,
out of the coats. Oh
scream.
my god, dude, this movie actually like scared the fuck out of me a few times. I was like, oh my god.
It's out of nowhere because it's not even, there's no music build up. It's just his scream that startles this. She gets knocked into the door.
She like looked through the clothes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. She looked for him.
So you're already given a sense of security because you're like, well, she looked already. There's nothing in there. Something might be locking in there in the closet. And then he just fucking charges out with this like roar, and you're like, oh my god.
She falls into the closet door, finally gets it open, falls to the floor, and is trying to catch her breath there. And then he comes out from under the bed, grabbing her and dragging her underneath. Part of their conversation that he was saying earlier was like, don't you remember when I used to go check in the closet and under your bed for those scary monsters when you were a kid? What if Daddy was lying and they were always there?
Bro.
And so her getting, like, stuck in the closet and then trying to get dragged under the bed is, like, a thing that she feared as a child and is getting replayed now. She takes the cross downstairs and is talking to it, like, explaining why the cross is the thing she hated, saying that he prayed to you every day, I prayed to you every day, you let him suffer. If there's something I hate you.
And she puts the cross in the box.
Closes the lid, reopens it, and the cross is gone. The timer has now restarted.
Oh my god. Crazy.
Her voice says, I see you. And she looks around, and her reflection does not move. And this freaking reflective mirror wall. Dude, did you realize how many mirrors this woman owns? Why? You're just asking for a portal to be opened in your freaking house with all these damn mirrors.
Yeah, man. I don't fuck around with it.
Mm-mm. So the wall where her fireplace is mirrored, and then there's like, the fireplace chimney shit up here. Yeah. So there's mirrors on either side. There's a mirror over behind her. There's at least two mirrors in her bedroom. There's just mirrors everywhere. And so she gets up. That's besides the point. I just think she has too many mirrors.
No, I agree.
She turns to the mirror, walking towards it, And you can see her shaking and are assuming the face she's making, while the face in the mirror is just like a slight smirk. Just like completely calm. And then when it does show Polly she's like, what the fuck is happening? And is like panicking and shaking and like looks distraught while this thing is just like, staring at her. She reaches a hand up to do like the palm press against the mirror, and her reflection moves away before she does.
Yeah.
And her voice is very, very muffled, and I did not have subtitles. So I could only catch bits and pieces, because it's like, it's her, if you were in a fish tank, like she's speaking, but it's very hard to hear. It's just like, you think you're dumb, you know you are, you're dead. It's very berating herself.
Pretty much that, yeah. I mean, I had subtitles, but it wasn't
anything too intense.
Anything so important that my brain felt like it had to latch onto it.
Okay.
It was just torturous against her, you know, like that's...
As her reflection is saying all these things, you hear this like tap, like a over and over again, and she glances down and her reflection has a pair of plant pruners stabbing at the glass, just hitting it over and over again, and it's not breaking. And so the reflection slams her head into the glass, breaking a hole in it, and then screams that you can now hear because there's a hole in the glass. She looks down, like she startles away from the mirror, looks down and sees she's holding pruners. Her phone rings, and again, it's very loud to me. Like, I feel like they made the phone ringing very loud, and a lot of people complained about that on Reddit as well. It was just louder than everything else around it.
So I didn't notice that specifically. I was just like, oh, the phone's ringing again, but I knew that would happen.
I don't know.
Maybe if I watched it again, I'd be like, oh no, that is loud.
I don't know. I thought for sure you would get it more with the headphones, but maybe because all of your balancing stuff, it's not as bad. Her sister is the one calling now, saying, you've called me 5 times. I told you not to call the house this late at night. What is going on? You told me Allie was gonna die. What is happening? And you said you were coming over. I don't know, all this stuff. And she's like, no, I never called you. It's not me. Don't listen. And her sister says, oh, I see your car. Just park over there. The phone ends. She runs to the door, and she has a slide chain lock, a deadbolt, and then
like
your
the
normal
actual
lock. knob lock.
lock.
Thank you. And so she goes through a slide, unlock, and then you hear it back up, and she has to do it again, and then she tries again, and it keeps relocking the door. She can't get out the front door. She can't get out the back door. She can't open a window. She grabs a stool, throws it at the window, and nothing happens. She cannot leave.
Yep.
She stares into the box, asking what it wants. What do I need? Tell me. And her TV kicks on. And this is the CRT TV. The CRT TV?
CRT
CRTs.
But,
that thing kicks on. And again, we talked about this earlier. It's a CRTV, but it's even older than what we grew up with because it's knob.
Yeah.
It's aesthetically there for looks because on top of it is a flat screen, which sure, whatever, man, go off. It's a home video of her doing this little piggy thing with the toes, and I don't know if this is just like a US based thing, and I know we have a lot of international listeners, so it's like you grab a toe and you say, this little piggy went to the market, this little piggy
stayed home,
this little piggy
a roast beef,
and this little piggy had none, and this little piggy went wee 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 all the way home, and you're counting toes. I don't know where this started from.
Yeah,
but it's
also when they say the little piggy went to market, you know what that means, right?
He got eaten. He's the roast beef.
He got slaughtered and he's going to be sold at the market. He is the roast beef.
I guess pigs aren't beef.
He is the... Yeah.
He's the Christmas ham.
I wonder what piggy... Never mind. Let's make a fucking dumb wee 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 joke.
So it's this, and it's playing on the CRT. It's cutting between Allie, the niece, being like super happy, and they're doing the little toe thing, and then her being all bloody with the same little piggy audio over and over and over again.
This felt a little drawn out, but maybe that's just because after a certain point I was like, please stop with the fucking nursery rhyme. It's just nonstop. But I think that's kind of the point when you mentioned earlier that the director was trying to kind of portray how his anxiety feels, or like these panic attacks.
It's never ending.
It is never ending, and I think it's interesting how you as a viewer in the same way during a panic attack where you're left with this and you want out of it so bad, but it's just like fucking the hamster wheels running a million miles an hour and you just, I don't know.
You can't break free from the cycle.
Yeah.
Because she unplugs the TV and it still keeps going. Like, she can't stop this from happening.
Yeah, she's like, please, like, this, make it fucking stop.
My thoughts here, too, is, so they want her toe? They want toes? In my head, I was like, oh, they want her niece's toes? That's weird. And then she grabs the pruners and goes to cut off her own baby toe. And I'm like, she's an artist. So she's going back for art school. There's a bunch of art around her house. Like, she seems to be a painter of some sort. And I was like, why would they want her toe? She's not a dancer. It would make more sense for her finger. Something she loves, right, is her work. So I was like, if you get rid of your finger, it's probably really hard to do your art stuff.
She chops off her little pinky toe brutally. I actually didn't look at the screen when it happened just because for some reason certain types of body horror I just get more squeamish about as I get older. It's brutal. I mean, she does a very good job at acting out how painful it would be because it genuinely felt like Dakota Fanning just cut her fucking toe off and was screaming bloody murder.
It's like she gushes blood too, and then she tries to stop the bleeding by like just cupping the top of the toe. And to be fair, how do you stop bleeding from a lost limb, right? She's just trying anything to stop the bleeding.
How does an art teacher in her early 30s know how to bandage a fucking severed toe? Like,
well, see, my first
just
thought,
as much as I do, a dude who talks about horror movies on a podcast. Like, I don't fucking know.
Mine was like, you should probably cauterize it.
I guess the fire is right there.
Oh God, no! I was thinking like get an iron.
But wouldn't the iron would take too long to heat up? You just
I guess like just throw something in the fire.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're just gonna burn your foot if you stick your
no,
foot in
like
there.
take what I would do.
The poker.
Well, no, I would actually take my stainless steel spatula, put it in the fire, right? Because it's like the flat surface, and then like once it heats up, like red hot, then I'd just. Because it'd be a nice, like, even flat surface. It's metal. I mean, it'd be harder with a poker because it's not, there's no, like, flat part to, like, really singe it evenly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was just thinking of, like, stopping the blood the fastest. Like, just getting a poker in there real fast. You know it's going to hold up to the heat, and then just... I don't know how hot you have to get it to cauterize it, though.
Yeah, and I guess having to hobble to the kitchen on a fucked up toe.
Which she does, because that's where she keeps her first aid kit.
Yeah, she goes and she wraps her foot very...
horribly.
Not great. But I was thinking about it. If I was in her situation, I'd probably just... Okay, it stopped bleeding. I'm just... we gotta fucking move on, because my life's at stake. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel... And obviously we're looking at this from not having our toe cut off. I just feel like you would have to... like be so tight about it to help stop that blood flow. Otherwise you're just gonna like she's stepping on her feet. You're just sending blood flow to your feet. Like you're just gonna bleed out.
I mean, do feet bleed worse than any other part of your body?
Well, I'm just thinking of like standing because you have the blood flow rushing. Like with your hand you can just like stop blood flow.
I do get that. She just lays on her back and it's
just
like
stay.
Foot up in the air.
The rest of it is her crawling on her back to get places.
Oh my God. I'll give you whatever you need, just as long as I could do it on my back. Like a turtle.
Fake mom appears gargoyling on the counter.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Why the fucking perching?
It's because
Creep
it's
me the
effective.
fuck out.
Yeah, it's effective. It's weird as fuck.
God.
And it's like, we and I know. Back in the living room, this scene like flashes too. Like we see fake mom and then it cuts to her being there and cuts to her not being there and being like super weird. She opens the box and puts her toe in, and it's still there. Like or she put it in before she went to the kitchen. I can't remember which it was. They don't want her fucking toe. And her phone starts going. Her phone starts going off with the song from earlier that was playing, and then it's just saying wrong, wrong, wrong all the way in, like on a black screen with red text just going wrong.
She's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
I still cut off my toe for you."
I mean, dude, if I did that and opened the box and it was still in there, I would be like, you know what? Fuck you. I guess I'll just die then. Just take me. I'm done playing this game.
My thought, I just don't understand why she thought it was her toe. There's nothing besides, there's nothing you need your toe for. Like in broad
trying
sense,
to like
right?
directly infer from the video, oh, the little piggies, so I guess it's gotta be my little piggy.
But if you think about what it told you.
Yeah, exactly. She wasn't thinking about it.
Well, yeah, she's not thinking right. If we had someone who thought right, this wouldn't be a movie.
I also give her grace on that. I wouldn't be thinking right in that situation. How many times have I said in many horror movies, I would probably just curl up into a ball and cry? Like, I don't know, man. There's a certain amount of dread that, like, enters my body to where I just realize I think all I want to do is shut down and just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. My time is now, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It kind of deals with the how far are you willing to go to save yourself, right? Like your survival instinct, and we don't have any. Our threshold for survival is very low.
Yeah, I'm sure there is a certain level that would kick in if the moment arose, but that's not to say we would do the right thing in the right moment.
No, my fight or flight response is freeze. If this happened to me, I'd probably just be like, well, okay, we're watching the sand timer end. I guess this is where we die. How the fuck am I going to die? Like, I don't know what I would
Honestly,
do.
that would be me too, because the last time I experienced something truly horrifying, I froze for an hour.
See, so I don't think this would work on us because we would just
Yeah.
freeze. The timer is still going. She looks at her mirror self, who is staring at her, and slams her hand into the mirror. And as she, like, slams her hand into the mirror, it's missing her pointer finger. And this is where, again, my thought process was, oh, like, because she wants to paint, she needs her finger.
Yeah.
Which makes kind of more sense. She screams, "You tricked me!" What tricked you? Nothing said anything, man. You're just making bad inferences. She then prunes off her finger. She does do the whole, like, takes a deep, calming breaths before she does it, and you can hear the music kind of wane out as she takes deep breaths to get ready for it.
But both times that she cuts limbs off, or appendages or whatever, these scenes are slow.
Well, it's slow, and she cuts off her left pointer finger. She's right-handed. So even if that was correct, it's still the wrong hand.
Yeah, like, is she cheating technically by doing that?
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't have to be the exact hand.
But
I
it
think,
has
like,
to be something you need, right? And she doesn't need her left finger to draw, but she
well,
needs
yeah,
it right.
so that's the one thing where I'm like, did you fucking cheese the system on that one a little bit?
She tried. She slams her finger in the...
I'd be too afraid to try. I'd be like, okay, take it. I don't care. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. She throws her finger in the box, slams it closed. The power goes out. She's like hyperventilating as she just rips her shirt off to get some kind of pressure on her hand now that that's gushing blood. The finger is gone, but the toe is still there. The timer restarts again. Her door swings open, so she's able to leave now. She drives to her sister's house, bangs on the front door, but no one answers. She has a spare key, so she goes inside, and there is... Was it Deck the Halls?
No.
Playing?
It's, I don't remember the name.
Doesn't feel like Christmas at all. That song.
Is that it?
I think so. It reminded me of...
It's like, snow's coming down, Christmas.
Yeah, it made me think of Home Alone.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's whatever that one is from Home Alone. Well, he's like doing the...
Which, this gave me Terrifier 3 vibes for like half a second. Because I was just like, wow, full on Christmas horror. Like, just for a fucking minute there.
Yeah.
And again, we didn't know this was a Christmas horror movie. I mean, it's not like they ever say it. It's just Christmas trees are up and people are out of town. And Christmas music is playing at her sister's house.
Yeah, because her house isn't even decorated for Christmas.
But if we can say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie,
Which we do.
which we do, then we can say that Vicious is a Christmas horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Much like how Gremlins is also a horror movie. It's literally just the setting because he had to get a gift.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas setting in this because people needed to be gone.
Yeah.
She runs upstairs to check on her sister, who is dead in her bed. And again, the scene is so dark, you can only make out their silhouettes for a hot second before she rolls her over and her sister's just deadpan staring up at her.
Yeah, eyes open, just...
She goes to her niece's room, and Allie is also deadpan staring at her. She's like hugging her, begging her to wake up. And this is like what I thought. Allie is the one thing in her life that she loves pretty much more than anything. Like, they want something from Allie, and that's what ends up happening. So the song starts again with the album downstairs, or sorry, not the album, the vinyl record downstairs. She goes to turn it off, takes her coat off, And the box and timer are now sitting next to her. And I don't know if you noticed this, she changed clothes.
Maybe because her clothes were covered in blood or something.
If you think your sister's dead, are you really changing clothes? I'm just throwing on the first thing I fucking see.
My only thought is, like, she knows what's going to happen if anyone finds out. Like, if she tries to even tell anyone what's going on, she saw what happened earlier to her neighbor. So, like, and we see it throughout the movie where she's like, I can't tell you what's going on. Like, she kind of learned her lesson with the neighbor pretty quickly. So my thought is just, like, she changed because any sort of, if her sister's fine, like, her sister's going to be like, why are you covered in blood? And then how are you?
She's straight up missing a finger.
That's true.
I think
I don't know. There's no excuse.
It just seemed like a weird thing to change clothes. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm just nitpicking this.
Wardrobe just had fun.
Probably. She throws the box, but it reappears. The landline goes off. And they have multiple landlines in the house. And if you are younger and didn't grow up with a landline, if one landline phone goes off, they all go off at the same time. It is not a crescendo of one starts it and then the others go after.
Yeah.
Every phone in the house rings if they're all connected to the same line. But that's not what happens here. And then the cell phones go off, and you have just auditory overload with all of the cell phones going off and ringing into different stereotypical sounds.
Unknown caller on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm. She answers the landline to Allie's voice, saying, you gave something easy instead of what you needed to. You killed them. You loved them. She loved you. I loved you. Like talking to Allie.
Yeah.
Says, I love you, because it's Allie's thing. And Allie's voice is like, I want to play. Can we play? So she goes upstairs with a freaking kitchen knife, and the little piggy thing is happening all over again. And she goes up to Allie and says, you're dead, but why is this so... and then the voice is saying, oh, why don't you cut off my nose? Why don't you take going off on, like, what parts of this child you should take. Take out my eyes.
I was so worried about what was going to happen.
Instead, she cuts off a lock of her hair.
Yeah, thank God, because I did not want to watch Dakota Fanning chop off a 7-year-old's nose.
I was just trying to function how that would work.
Did not wake up today with that on the docket. So I was appreciative when it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, did we mention neither of us have seen this movie before, so we both went in blind.
Yeah, we did not mention, but yes, we both. This is this month actually. We're pretty much doing all movies that neither you or I have seen.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start watching them once before I do my notes, just so I can get full immersion, watch it, and then watch it again to do my notes. But yeah, we're getting into a bunch of movies we've never seen before. If you're watching this, you know we're also doing video episodes that are going to be our stacked exclusives. So we did finally get that done.
Oh my God.
We'll talk more about that at the end of the episode, though. I don't want to get too off tangenting right here. The line goes dead with beeping. That actually makes sense because it's a freaking landline.
Mm-hmm.
She opens the box and the hair is gone. She hears movement upstairs. Her sister ends up walking down.
Can I just say, if the ghost was like, oh, you're trying to take the easy way out, wouldn't her just taking hair from Allie?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't just taking hair be taking the easy way out? Like, especially if the ghost was like, why don't you stab out her eyes or take off her nose?
Yeah, which we find out is the easy way.
Oh, you're right.
Did you forget?
Yeah, it gets a little fucking all over the place in the last 40 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, no worries.
So I apologize if myself jumbled. No,
you have a fair point that you're bringing up. Her sister walks down the stairs. Polly then runs upstairs to check on Allie. And it's not really Allie. She gets a bunch of speckles on her face.
I hate this.
Was it tryptophobia?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Bunch of holes.
Tryptophobia warning. She gets fucking a bunch of holes on her face pop up out of nowhere. It's really gross.
I guess she wanted... and I wanted Allie's finger. I don't know. They wanted, obviously a body part from Allie. She tries to leave, but Allie drags her back into the room and then has the knife and is trying to stab at her chest.
Oh, yeah. She plunges the knife into her and And Polly like gasps, and then it cuts to her.
Oh yeah, she wakes up on the dining room table.
Yeah.
With the timer restarted again and the box. She says she gave it everything. What more does it want? She tries to call on the phone, but it just gets a dial tone. There's no one there. She drops a ring in it and closes it, and it disappears. She drops a necklace in it, and it disappears. And the
Sing just starts taking everything from her.
And I'm assuming, like, the ring, it's probably, like, has some sentimental value, but we don't know what, right? Like, maybe it was her mom's or her dad's, whatever. She's just dropping everything in there, and every time she closes the lid, the timer restarts. She squeezes her blood from her finger into the box, and this hand fucking reaches up out of the box and drags her down, and obviously it's like this big of a box.
Pulls her whole fucking arm into it, and she's like panicking, trying to get her arm out.
She rips herself out of the box finally, and she like asks what's left. And then there's a knock, or she knocks on a door. She starts, like, recalling what the woman did. She knocked on the door. She knew what she wanted. She hates me. She hates me? So she knocks on knocks on a door until someone answers.
Yeah, she's, like, going around in the middle of the night. Like, at one point, she's walking in the middle of the street with
a paper
bag.
Big
brown paper bag, just being like, anyone help? And finally, like, couple of lights come on in a house behind her, and so it cuts to her like knocking on the door,
and this 20-something late teenager, she's home for the holidays, so I'm assuming she's a college-age student, answers. Just as frazzled as the old woman was, Polly is just as frazzled, making no sense. This poor girl is just like, what is happening? This isn't my house. Like, this is my parents' house. I don't think I can let you in. Like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. I'm so sorry. Polly says she just has to come in for a second, that she needs to call her sister who lives just down their way, but her phone isn't working and no one's answering, and she doesn't really have the old lady privilege of being frail out in the snow, and so it takes, we learn her name's Tara, a moment to let her in, and this is where I said she either looks like a murderer or a murder victim, or like an escaped victim.
Oh, but the mirror of, you know, this happening exactly, it's just so fucking good. Yeah,
seeing it play out from the other POV for this moment.
Yeah.
Tara asks what's happening, and Polly says she can't explain. This is where Tara explains that she's just visiting for the holidays. She takes her in, telling her, like, oh, do you want some tea or water? Tara tells Polly to call the cops, but she doesn't want to. Polly can't tell Tara what's happening, so Tara picks up her phone and leaves, calling someone. There's like a cat that comes out and meows, and then it turns into herself screaming where the cat was sitting. She opens the paper bag, places the box onto the coffee table, pulls out the timer. The timer is still going. The girl comes back saying her parents will be home in a few minutes, sets down like some tea for her, and then asks what the box is. This is where we learn her name, because Polly says, your name is Tara, and I just know that, and I can't explain how I know that. She thanks her for the tea, saying that was really nice. This is where Tara is like, okay, you need to fucking leave. This is crazy. It's the same speech thing that Polly gave the old lady, except thrown back at her. But Polly continues with the old lady's speech of nothing, or I'm sorry, not the old lady's speech. The monologue from the opening of nothing changes, I can throw myself against the wall, but I'm still here, yada yada. The whole thing, turns out she was telling all of this to Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Tara asks her what she wants, and Polly says for it to stop. Polly knows her, and Polly says, your parents aren't on the way home, and this belongs to you now, talking about the box and the timer. Tara finally kicks her out, saying, man, I was just trying to be nice, and then you come in here with all this crazy thing, and it cuts right as Polly says, you're going to die. She goes back to her own house, where her fire is still blazing. Looks like it hasn't gone down an inch. She apologizes to someone, I don't know, she just apologizes, and the old lady appears out of the darkness behind her, saying, it wants me to kill you.
Yeah.
Which startles her.
Like, Jesus fuck. It startled me.
It's because the old woman is no longer in her like outside clothes. She's like in a nightgown and beaten and bloody. And
yeah, she like fucked up.
she's missing more fingers. The old woman explains it won't let her go, that whatever you have to do, it never stops. The woman comes at her with scissors and they start fighting. They break the glass coffee table. Polly puts up her arms to block her face and the woman stabs her in the arms.
That was rough.
Yeah.
Because it's just like right fucking in there.
Into the forearm. Polly thrashes out, grabbing a piece of broken table, stabbing the woman inside the ribs. She starts like sputtering blood out of her mouth, and then they tussle more, backing into the mirror wall, where Polly stabs her in the chest because the woman's like going with her hands above her head, trying to stab at her with the scissors. So Polly like re-angles it, so she stabs herself in the chest. It's a lot is happening. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Polly throws this old woman to the side, and she lays there, and she's like, "Why me? Why?" And the woman just kind of looks at her saying, "Someone knocked on my door and I just opened it. No one ever knocks, but they did. I could have knocked anywhere, just like they could have knocked anywhere. I think it chooses us because they know we're broken. It knows we're broken." And then this old woman like gently touches her hair and is like doing like grandma kind of touches of just like brushing her hair to the side and just kind of explaining what happened in a very calm manner as she's dying.
And then being like, "Thank you." You're just like, oh, damn. That's rough.
Yeah, she says, you were nice from the moment I saw you. I could tell the things we do to ourselves is never enough. She lost everything. She lost who she wanted to be, who she could be. And the box needs fear and the sand needs fear to work. So don't be afraid of dying. Just don't be afraid. And then she says thank you as her last words as she gasps one more and dies. And you hear the muffled voices like from the mirror again. It looks over and it's the scene of the old woman coming in and Polly and her sitting there talking. And the old woman looks directly at Polly in the mirror. And so that whole scene of I'm going to start now is her seeing the future of what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. God damn.
She is crying, obviously. And the timer is going. And there is, again, auditory overstimulation of Allie, of all of this dialogue we've heard before, just cacophonied around her and in her head, and she's crying and hyperventilating, and she just ends up being like, I won't do it anymore, and finally gets herself to kind of like, again, breathe deep and relax and stop freaking out as much.
And she just lets the timer run out.
It cuts to black, and in the morning, there's the garbage men taking the garbage from the side of the road. The sun's coming up. Allie jumps out of her bed, and she's okay. Her sister walks downstairs, and the house is a disaster. There's nothing there to suggest anyone was there, except her sister's clothes are on the floor, the chairs and tables and things are turned over, but nothing major. Lainey calls out saying, "Polly?" Like seeing if Polly's there, which wakes Polly up, who had fallen asleep on her floor, and she holds up her hand and she's missing her finger, but it's healed. Like, it fully ass fucking healed. She walks outside, and the neighbor who stabbed herself is alive, emptying her trash. She gets in her car and drives to go see Allie, who is outside playing in the snow, and she drags her in, like, this big old hug and she's like, "Oh, mommy's so mad at you." And she's like, "Your mom was always mad at me." And she's got this big scar on the side of her cheek where she got attacked, and obviously is missing a finger, so all of her wounds are healed. And she tells Allie to let her tell mom that I'll be right back.
She's like, "Mom's pissed at you." And she's like, "Your mom's always pissed at me." Well, for starters, you smoke cigarettes in their home that they're renting to you. That would piss me off. But it's okay.
Yeah,
You've been through hell, girly. It's all right.
Yeah, I think the from the synopsis and from the clues, I think she's mostly mad at Polly because Polly's the fun aunt and probably does a bunch of things that she's like, I told you no, like, don't. That's kind of because in the synopsis, it's like Polly dotes on her. So I think it's like she gets to be the fun one while obviously mom doesn't get to be the fun one because mom
Yeah.
has to raise a child and not a spoiled brat.
Mm-hmm.
She walks down the street to Tara's house, rings the bell, and it takes a hot second for Tara to answer. Polly says, you can't play. I should have never given it to you. Please give it back. Give me the box. And Tara looks so confused and she's like, who are you? Like, we were out of town. We just got back. I'm sorry, but I think you have the wrong house. And she apologizes, or like Polly apologizes. Tara closes the door and she's like, oh, well, all right. Cool, I guess. And she walks away to see Lainey outside and tells her, like, hey, I'll be right in. And Lainey takes Allie inside. Polly pulls out her pack of cigarettes and starts smoking in the middle of the street. And her phone goes off. And she starts to panic. Like, you can feel, like, the rising tension as her, like, body starts to shake with that kind of hyperventilating thing. And it takes her a second, but she calms herself, taking another long drag of the cigarette, and ignores the phone call before walking away. And gets to have, like, normalcy maybe, right? And inside the house with Tara's watching her walk away. She sits down, and then we get a cut of the living room, and in blood on the wall it says, tell no one, trust no one, listen to no one, she lies. And as the camera turns, both of Tara's hands are wrapped, like she's cut off multiple fingers, and behind her, her dad is dead on the dining room table, her mom is dead on the floor, and she goes to drop something in or cut something off and says, something you want. And the phone vibrates, and we cut to black.
God damn. Yeah. Crazy fucking movie. Again, you don't figure out everything.
Mm-mm.
You don't learn where'd the box come from, what is possessing.
it?
Like,
Yeah.
you don't learn it. But that's okay. That's what adds to the mystery.
I didn't really have a problem with it because it made me
didn't
feel
either.
like Smile, where it's like, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but there's like a curse going on.
We gotta watch Smile too.
Or like It Follows. Does it get explained in It Follows? I don't like It Follows.
I mean,
I don't remember finishing it.
The demon is explained, like how it gets transferred, obviously, but other than that, like, you don't know its origins, where it came from. All you know is that this thing has been passed through I don't know how many people.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about this. It's just, it gets passed on and you don't get to know why, but it is. And then it's, again, very symbolic of generational trauma or anxiety or like those kinds of
I
things.
think people need to remember that not everything, you don't get a satisfying conclusion to everything in life. So many things will be cut short. Just like your fucking favorite TV show that you've never heard of is going to come out 3 years from now, and then it's only going to have one season because not enough people watched it, or something got fucking canceled somehow, or one of the actors got into a controversy. It doesn't matter. It's inevitable.
The only question I really have, because I don't really care about the origins of this box at all, is the old lady dead in her house? Because all of this stuff happened. Like, she's got these scars to prove that it happened and they healed over. But, you know...
Is she going to go home later that day?
And is the woman still going to be there? I don't know. That was my big question. Someone on Reddit called this the spiritual successor of 1408. Which felt very accurate.
Honestly, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, where it's some of that stuff really did happen, but it was so contained that it also didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a part of the fun, is like figuring that out for yourself. Guessing, inferring, or just choosing to believe that whatever you believe is the case is right. Like, it's fine. It's a movie. It's allowed to be subjective. You're allowed to take whatever you fucking want from it.
Yeah, I liked it.
I really liked it.
I do recommend.
It made me realize that, like, Dakota Fanning was a great actress as a kid, and she has only gotten better as she's gotten older.
I haven't really seen her in anything.
Well, and that's
recently.
the thing, is she hasn't been in enough. But, like, her performance in this was so, like, full. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She just, like, the pain that she exudes in some of those scenes feels very real.
I wonder, let me me see. I want to see what movies she's been in recently. Huh. Or something in 2023. I don't know. That's not giving me like a list that it usually does when I click on someone's name. Interesting. But no, I like it. Go watch it.
Yeah,
Pretty
go watch
solid.
it. It's not like...
I think mid-tier is average. Like, I think it being an average horror movie, like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, like...
Maybe a 5.5 or a 6, but it's...
There are plenty of movies we've done on the podcast where I'm like, that was good, but I wouldn't watch it again. I actually would watch this one again.
I think I would like to.
I think there's a lot that I feel like I could pick up the second go around.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the other thing I like about, like, when movies leave that mystery, it gives you a reason to want to go back and rewatch it. Because, like, you're like, I want to figure it out. Is there something I missed the first time that can help me make a better, more informed opinion on, like, this universe? I don't know.
No, I super agree. Before we break, though, I forgot in the middle of one of our rants, I stated that we'll talk about it more at the end of the episode. And if you're listening to audio, it might have been cut. If you're watching video, then you watch that whole rant happen because I'm editing video way less than I am audio because it takes a lot. We, again, now have video up for our Stacked, which is like Patreon, stacked.com, not Stacked Up. That is a blogging website. It is in our link tree. It is in our YouTube description if you're watching on YouTube. I should put it on our profiles for all of our other podcasting platforms. But we have video for our last book club up for Horns. This video may or may not be up. We're going to look at the footage and see if we did this correctly. If it's not up, then our next episode will definitely have video. We are doing Death Note, the whole manga series for book club at the end of the month.
Yeah, which is hype.
We're super stoked. It's technically a thriller, but I consider Death Note in the horror genre. So we're going to do that.
I think a lot of people do, so.
Yeah, I feel like it belongs there. It's like 7. It might not technically be a horror movie, but... wait, 7 was... what was it? Or was 7 a crime drama? There was one... I think it was 7, where it's a crime drama thriller.
7 was a horror.
I think it's a crime drama thriller and doesn't technically have horror in it. We did one where it wasn't technically horror, but it's close enough that we agree. And so Death Note's going to be at the end of the month. We're going to go over 13 manga, or I think there's technically 12 and the 13's the extra. Either way, we're going over all of that at the end of the month, which gives us a little, you guys don't know what we'll be covering at the end of the month because we're not doing the live action Death Note movie or watching the entire series. I'm
very excited for the movies that we have lined up for this month. Again, new stuff that we haven't seen. Well, one of them I've seen, but I don't remember a fucking thing from it. So.
I think they're all recommendations too.
Yeah, it's killer.
So we got a good month coming. We've started planning out the rest of the year. And again, we reiterate, we need December Yuletide holiday movies. We need a New Year's movie. We need spooky ooky Halloween movies. I like thematic movies for Halloween, but we also want your spooky picks. Blair Witch is in the top of mind. If you agree, let us know in the comments. Tell us in Discord.
Yeah, even if it's not Halloween specific or Christmas specific, we still want your recommendations. Like, give us all the horror movies to watch, and we will add them to the list because while we have a lot of movies lined up already, we still need more. We will
always and forever need more movies.
Yeah.
Oh, on that note, and I haven't told you this, I am working with a graphic designer to get us some stickers made.
Oh my god, stickers!
So we're gonna add that to our Patreon tier.
Holy crap, you'll get stickers.
So if you're subscribed for, I don't know, a few months or whatever, you'll get a free sticker pack that we can send you as soon as I'm done making those.
Nice.
We also might get a logo redesign. We'll see.
Awesome.
Super stoked for that. I actually need to email her.
Good stuff in the works.
Oh, And along with Stacked, you get video episodes, and you will also get an extra episode a month.
Yes.
If you are subscribed at our, I think it's $9.50 or higher tier, you get to vote on the extra episode we'll be covering. And currently we only have one person subscribed at that tier, and they have requested their movie for this month. So we will be doing that.
But if you join that tier, you get to determine what goes out directly. So if there's a movie you really want us to cover, I mean, give us your recommendations anyways. Like, we're not only going to do the ones paid for, but like,
but if you want a very specific movie and are subscribed at that tier, it's almost a guarantee we'll do that that month, or at least vote on it. Currently we don't have a lot of patrons,
you'll make it happen sooner.
Yeah, the recommendations definitely get shoved to the top of the stack of movies, the top of the list as we're making our calendar for the year. But yeah, that's what we got going on. If you guys want to see anything else in our stacked tiers or anything that you think is missing, let us know. Join our Discord and yell at us there. Yell at us on Instagram. That's probably, or Threads. Those are the only two social media platforms we really have.
Yeah. Give us a shout.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and Threads at No Cell Service Pod. Until next time. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Follow our Instagram and Threads at No Cell Service Pod. Until next time.